Good evening, folks. I'm Scott. That's Day. That's Ryan. And this is, as always, Tales from the Film Set. Today, we are going to be breaking down all of the action movies that take place at Christmas, the Die Hards, the Home Alones, the Batmans, and our basis on what they think they rank as S tier all the way down to trash. By the way, I apologize in advance. I have COVID. So as a result, I will be a little bit coffee today and probably a little bit off. So we'll just have to deal with it and rely on those two gentlemen and Rob Manning when he gets here to carry the load today. And yes, I just said load.
Well, to be fair, I'm a little coffee myself, have been for the past week or so, and probably more so after going to Anime NJ and being around my fellow dweebs, and
dweebs.
Otakus. And needless to say, the hotel we were at, they had a lot of boxes of tissues out because they knew who they were dealing with. Sick people, just
okay. I didn't see it that way. I kind of saw it from a different vantage point.
Yeah,
I mean, you do deal with lonely people sometimes.
No, there was a hentai room. I got about 30 seconds, not 30 minutes, please, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds worth of video in there, and I get it out.
It's all you needed from the hentai room. Good job.
Yes. I went in, I survived, and I don't think I'll be flagged for it, considering how much on my Instagram feed I've actually covered with verbiage.
That wasn't the strip thing that you sent, was it? Or that provocative dance?
No. There was a burlesque show.
That one, yeah.
Nights, and that's where I sent you, which, by the way, Dan Evidan, you have a fan that you would not believe. I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about one of the dancers. You might have met them when you came to Jersey. Keep that in mind when next time you see them in your Game Gear outfit.
Nice.
Surprised me when I saw her.
Day, how you doing, man? Before we get into stuff here.
I was doing fine until the hentai aspect. I was like,
well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it was just like,
it depends on the hentai, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, remember they've had hentai tentacle stuff for like 110 years, 120 years. It was like paintings and murals with like, you know, octopi and things like that. So very engrossed in their culture. But then again, this is also the same culture that else you can order and get used panties from a vending machine. So, you know, Subarashi no Nihon. So
suffice it to say, I was not there for the hentai. It was just an interesting aspect that I was also able to gauge upon.
All right. But so no hentai for you.
Media blasters and the health.
No, it's a judge free, Ryan. You're good.
No.
Not those Mets. How they doing right now?
Yeah, judge free, right?
So, all right. Anywho,
it was a great time. It was a great first outing for the con. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the staff there and helping me get done what I needed to get done for work here. Hopefully, you'll enjoy all the audio and visual I was able to get for you people. We do have the interview with Johnny Young Bosch. Yes, Adam the Black Ranger, Bachelor Stampede,
Broly,
Kurosaki, Lelouch de Bretagne, and so on and so forth.
Wait, he was the
now.
voice of Broly?
Yeah, both Broly.
Oh my god!
Both the movie and also, you know, the Dragon Ball Z movie and also the Super Broly.
Yeah. And definitely a voice actor that I have followed his career. So it was very nice to have met him and talked with him for a bit, as well as all the other actors that I have gotten to talk to over the weekend that you will all be able to see in the coming week.
Yeah, the Johnny Young Bosch one is already up. Tomorrow is we got one from a guy, the guy who's Kamen Rider, I think you said, right?
Koichi Sakamoto. He was an executive producer on Power Rangers from Lost Galaxy all the way up to RPM. He is a stunt actor who has worked on Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Power Rangers, and he is a film director in his own right. In fact, the whole convention itself was pretty much a basis for Media Blasters to promote their film with him, Ninja vs. Shark, which some of the American voiceover actors were in attendance for the show. So that's why that whole thing went off. Hopefully, it's a big enough hit that there'll be sequels. and we'll have more anime NJs in the near future.
They'll go the route of Sharknado and eventually have time travel and possibly Dolph Lundgren.
No time travel. Just the good old fashioned, ninjas and jutsus and swords and
Sharks.
And a big old shark.
And a big old shark.
And Dolph Lundgren.
And Dolph Lundgren, yes.
Where are you getting Dolph Lundgren from?
Dude, he played Ian Ziering's kid in like the last movie.
No, we don't have
the kid grown up through time travel, because why not?
No, we have genuine actual combat actors. Actually, Davion, even some of the people from Common Ramen, who I think you follow on Instagram, they were there in attendance doing like showcasing of the how to cinematography capture, cosplay fighting and whatnot. Yeah. There actually should be some footage of me in the next couple of days of me throwing a punch, studio wise.
Nice.
They said it looked good.
Nice.
Not saying anything, but maybe Day could, give me some work, doing some stunts.
Nice.
Just saying.
Moving on to this space, but what does not look good. Jay, I think you wanted to discuss this one.
Speaking of people who need work.
Yeah.
Ladies
not
and
a good
gentlemen.
time for this man right now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, they have made a decision and they found Jonathan Majors is now guilty for third-degree assault and harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Misdemeanor.
Not felony.
So we don't know where they're going to go with this. We already know that Disney has dropped him. And I mean, dropped him like a turd that did not need the respect.
Drop him like Warner Brothers did Johnny Depp when it came to Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, it was that bad.
Mm-hmm. Which is surprising considering the allegations against Majors could have been a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
If the harsher stuff was convicted upon. But I guess those were just dropped completely.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically at the end of the day more or less a slap on the wrist for the man, but his credibility is taking a massive hit here.
You're right.
Yeah. In worst case scenario, he's could get a year in prison due to the misdemeanor.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is kind of, I mean, it is a sad time for a lot of people because the way this court case went, we thought it was going to favor him in some righteous fashion, but in reality, it basically bit him where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
And, and then with the video of him running away from the woman, it's his ex-girlfriend. It's like, wow, like you convicted him on that aspect, but what about her convictions of being the abuser? And I'm not trying to put victim shaming on it. It's just the fact that what messed him up, and I'm going to be honest with people, was when he had those texts that she had about him apologizing, going to the hospital,
Like he would have been better off just keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah. And I'm not saying these are the way. No, it's just the fact that I don't know the guy from a can of worms. I'm not trying to defend him, nor I'm trying to defend her. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's tough because we thought he was, he's still, but it's not going to be the same, even when he gets out.
He could recover from something like this, though. He's got enough going for him that I think with time, I think he'll be able to recover okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it just won't be Disney.
And it may not be Disney. It might be Warner Brothers. It might not be Marvel in any capacity. I mean, the truth is, I don't think personally him losing Marvel was the worst thing right now at this point, given the fact that that is kind of a sinking ship in general.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he had Creed 3. That was where he got to start more or less. He really got on the map. But I think a guy like this who looks the way he does can recover pretty well. Abs go a long way in society.
That is true.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, Jonathan Majors is a very compelling actor.
Mm.
If you look at the stuff he's done, either as Kang, whether it be his role as Kang in Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania, or better, his turn in Loki season 2, he really does know how to make compelling characters just based off his acting. And even beyond Marvel, you look at things like the Five Bloods or his turn in Creed 3.
Or Lovecraft Country.
He's got like a face that can just like turn on a dime.
Yeah.
You don't know where he's going to go until he tells you where he's going to go. I think that's a very interesting aspect for an actor. So I mean, he can get work, absolutely. It's a shame that we may not see his upcoming Disney movie, Magazine Dreams, where he plays the bodybuilder and everything.
Mhm.
We might not see that. That might get shelved completely, or it may just get like a release on Disney Plus and no fanfare to it. But considering the way Marvel is, yeah, it needs a restructuring and maybe going with someone else as Kang, or maybe going with a different villain altogether, like they've talked about introducing Doctor Doom early. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because I think the last thing he needs right now is a spotlight on.
Right.
So maybe just take half of 2024, reconstitute yourself fully, get this whole legal issue taken care of, get back on the map. It'll take a year of cleansing, but that's a lot nicer than some actors get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with a guy like him, like he's still young enough at this point. I think there's enough content out there. He might have to restart a little bit, go back to TV, possibly nothing on something on Netflix, or Hulu to kind of get his credibility back and frankly his income as well, because he's lost a fair bit during all of this.
Right.
So he might have to go that way to get himself back on the map a little bit.
And here's the other thing. I haven't heard nothing negative from the fans. I just seen a lot of postings of people that's saying he's been convicted. I don't see a lot of, oh my God, or yes, he got. I don't see none of that. I don't see none of that yet, or none of that at this moment. So that's a good sign. But still, like I said, it's not the greatest thing to be convicted and to be guilty of something that, we don't know the full story. I'm going to be honest with people. We don't know the full story. We don't know what actually happened. We weren't there. I'm not defending him or her. It's just the fact that the way this was set up and the way you basically screw up this guy's livelihood in a way. Like, I'm really not. I don't feel as though when it's something outside of business, but then again, you're done with Hollywood. You have the image on you. Everything is solely around you. You're supposed to keep an image. And I think he tried to keep that image. It was just the person he was dealing with had some issues.
Right.
That's my point of view. It may be wrong. It may be right. I don't know. I'm just putting from what the evidence we have. And then not only that, for what they said, she broke her hand, and then she was at a party partying with the broken hand. Which I'm like, it must have not been that serious if you're at a party with a broken hand.
Or it was a really good party.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hanging around the punch bowl.
I see this is the issue that I have. And I hate to bring this up. This is what you was talking about, Scott, but this is in a different format because of the fact that I think society looks frowned upon men and they put women on a different standard. And I'm not saying this as a bad way. And because
it's not only that, but I mean, I hate to say I have to speak for Davion and anybody else, but especially black men in celebrity, I think have a harsher microscope put on. I mean, look at Jesse Smollett. That nonsense that got pulled off. I think one little incident like that, and unfortunately, some people will call into question any person that makes an argument of he said, she said because of it, because they've proven that there can be falsehood. And it's unfair, but in the eyes of the law, they look for precedent. But on that happy note,
yeah, I was gonna say this is getting a little too moody. Maybe a little maudlin off the bat there.
because it's the holiday season.
Yes, but
But
realistically, even though it's the holiday season, it kind of is the toughest season. This is like the saddest season because of loved ones and all this stuff. Not to mention we lost somebody in December, really right next door, like a town over, Andrew Bargo from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That hurt me big time because guess where I'm always in? South Orange. Hanging out in South Orange.
Yeah, but it's not like he died from something in South Orange. He was just,
and he was in his 60s too, so it's not like the end of it's not like
old. He was sick.
Nah, but it was an unknown circumstance, and it crushed me a lot because throughout and I even made posts the fact that as much time I been in that particular town, I never got the chance to run into no celebrities. But that was one celebrity I was begging one time to see and meet and probably pick his brain. Not even just to basically be like, oh my God, can I get your autograph? It was more just to have a casual conversation, probably grab a drink or something and just talk. Like, that's all me, for instance, because there's some celebrities I met and that's what happened. We just sat back, have a drink, talk. I know we switching from Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, dude, this is a really dark start, man. I'm not too happy about this.
I'm sorry.
Holiday season, and people.
But,
I mean, I can make it worse if we want to. Yeah.
But like I said, at the end all be all I had to say is Jonathan Majors, you can make it out of this. You still got the skills. Yes, this is going to be, everybody got their trials and tribulations, that's a part of life. But the great thing I actually looked up was when Denzel Washington says, trials and tribulations going to come through, but it's a matter of you going through it and getting yourself back up. It may take a couple of falls for you to screw up, but guess what? As long as you keep getting back up, that's all that matters.
Fair enough.
What else Denzel said?
Huh?
King Kong ain't got shit on me. All right, let's get going.
Not expecting that.
All right, so there we go.
We got Buddy the Elf.
And Santa! I know him.
And the elf reference in what we came in about 4.5 seconds on that one. That might be a new record. see if you can work a little bit faster next time on that.
Santa, I know.
Without, Buddy.
But hi guys.
How you doing?
Yeah, it's I hope his career after this all gets situated. Hope it gets better.
Yeah.
I was about to say, are you moving? Like everything in the back there. It's like,
oh, I'm just in a different room because my man cave's a mess, and my mom has been. These are all Christmas presents that she's been able to help her street angels and stuff like that. So they're down in this room, and
I say thank you. It's a load off my back and everything. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
He's in the headquarters down there.
Yeah.
So.
I am an elf. I helped build.
He's in one of our delivery warehouses.
Exactly.
Fulfillment facilities, as it were.
So,
Can't say slave labor.
You just did.
God. Dude.
Okay, on that note.
Anyways.
Oh, your Christ on a stick. Oh my God, dude.
20th anniversary.
Okay.
Oh.
So, one of the greatest trilogies of all time. We have. When you think about trilogies, what do you think of?
Spider-Man.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. You know, you
Spider-Man.
could argue The Godfather, although definitely more the first two, but Lord of the Rings as well. You know, the Peter Jackson trilogy won a host of Oscars. You know, and Return of the King being the king of the whole bunch of them. The 20-year anniversary for the Return of the King is here right now. What I'm trying to figure out right now, this property is owned by Warner Brothers, who right now is bleeding money, may have to sell off assets, and also in the process may have to declare bankruptcy. Explain to me the rationale of not re-releasing Lord of the Rings in theaters.
It's because they're too focused on Elf. I hate to say it, but I mean,
dude, stop with the Elf. Seriously.
No, I'm being serious. They have been they've made a bunch of new products with the 20th anniversary. I'm not wrong on that. And they have re-released it in theaters. That's what I was saying.
Okay, Elf is nothing compared to Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings won 17 Oscars.
I understand that.
So
essentially we're talking
I'm saying merchandise-wise.
versus a movie with a lot of Elf.
Yeah.
Right.
Primarily Legolas.
Well, I'm just saying merchandise-wise, they have released a bunch because it was the 20th year. That's all.
But my question in this case here is you have 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when basically Star Wars in 1997, for the 20-year anniversary of New Hope, they released New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi 1 month apart. If you remember, they re-released it with the special features, with some added footage, things like that, a little bit more CGI work, because CGI was trying to become a thing at that point. For the Star Wars 20th anniversary, they re-released it in theaters and made bank. So why wasn't Lord of the Rings released in theaters if Warner Brothers is literally hemorrhaging money right now?
Well, I think the question becomes, where does Lord of the Rings really play into things, considering the last thing that we got in the Tolkienverse was Rings of Power on Amazon.
Which was definitely a series, yes.
Yes, but does that muddy the waters on what Warner Brothers can do with anything Tolkien?
But would Warner Brothers really care what Amazon is doing? Or would they want to show up a competitor?
I think it's a matter of who owns what, really.
I think, like what Scott is saying, it would be smart for them to show off the competitor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who do they have that are working at Warner Bros. That not thinking of these strategies? Because it could be a strategy issue more so than what is being hemorrhaged. Because a lot of the thing has to be, it's like when you work in a production company, you have to strategize and understand what products you have, what's the anniversary, what time, like when are the releases going to kick in. This is when Warner Brothers dropped the ball because they're so focused on the DC universe to the point that I feel as though they forgot about Lord of the Rings. Do you think that could be an issue?
It's not, because they have a lot of other things to focus on, like Barbie, which just came on onto Max, with Oppenheimer and the Golden Globe nominations that just went through. And ultimately, when you're thinking about the Warner Brothers Discovery version of David Zaslav's company, they're not worried about past products or past
They should be.
They should be.
Dude, when you look at what Blue Beetle did, what Flash did, and what Aquaman is probably going to do, you know, I mean, and they're in a position right now where their bankruptcy has been discussed. You have a cash cow staring you right in the face. Elf may be part of that, sure, but the reality is, even at worst case scenario, you can have both of them side by side.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, Elf is one thing here, great, that's Christmas, but you could re-release Lord of the Rings, whether extended cut or not. Think about how much money you would get, you know, to bring back the Oscar-winning trilogy to theaters, to see it in the wide, you know, in the live, you know, the surround sound, you know, live screen, things like that, you know, for the first time in 20 years. I mean, there's so much available there.
To be honest, one of the best time to be was summer, but they decided to do like the Barbie movie and stuff like that in the summer. Wouldn't that been the best time to put that movie?
It could have been, but I mean, like I said, it hadn't hit 20 years yet, so I could see it being dropped a little bit closer to now.
When is the 20th? Like this month?
This week. The Return of the King was released 20 years ago this week.
Okay.
See, and what they could have done was like they did with, I have a lot of Batman the Animated Series. they add like the Funkos. Like they can make an exclusive Funkos specifically for the Lord of the Rings. Like,
yeah.
Or, I mean, they have made Funkos, but I don't know if it's just, and don't target me, but the Funkos for the Lord of the Rings might not sell as well. And I'm saying that because
they would.
Yes, they
would.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen what the current value of all the Lord of the Rings Funkos, and there are none that go sky roof like over $50.
But it's not about how much they cost; it's how much they cost times how many are bought.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I'm saying, never mind. I'm just not going to explain.
I got him frazzled now. I'm sorry.
No, because all right. So what we're saying is, like a limited edition particular character, not here's a whole bunch of list of Funkos. It's like, here's your DVD package. It comes with X, Y, and Z, which is like exclusive footage that you're not going to get from the original DVDs or Blu-rays.
No.
You have like an exclusive Funko where it could be a golden dark. What's the guy's name with the saying "You shall not pass"?
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gandalf holding the stick.
Oh yeah.
Like, if anything, what would have been smart would have been for them to do a Lord of the Rings NFTs. And I'm not talking about non-fungible tokens. I'm talking about the Funkos they've done that they're digital packs you buy and you can pull a redemption. Like they did with Elf this year. They did their exclusive that they only make like 1,500 of each character. And it's not just Elf. They've done all kinds like Lord of the Rings this year, Nickelodeon, all different ones this year that you buy digital packs. And if you pull one that says redeemable, then you get that physical Funko months later. If I was close by the Elf ones, I could show you guys because I just got those. I made a post about those a while back, but they did, and those are limited. They only make like 1,500, and then I think the Freddy Funko they only make like 500, or they make a lower number or something like that.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, just so you can see it, that was the return on all three of them. So you can see based on that, and also see how minusculely small that budget is. 94 million, which comes out to be right now about 150 million. And the return worldwide for all three of those movies, that was banked 10 times over.
That's $3 billion.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
$3 billion on a $300 million, not even a $300 million budget. So you look at something like that, and you question yourself. It's like, what are they thinking? You had a window, you had an opportunity.
Besides focusing on Barbie, you could have just focused during the Christmas season.
I mean, look, if you think about how little money was spent on the Taylor Swift movie theater,
yes.
20 million picks up 250 million. This is stuff that's already in the can. You just release it in theaters and just go. You already have it sitting there. And you might see more of this going forward, I think, with a lot of IPs that are looking for quick cash, where you might see them re-release some stuff in theaters. But dude, I remember 20 years ago when Star Wars was re-released in theaters, dude, they were packed. And I do mean packed hardcore. This would have done the same thing.
Well, maybe Warner Brothers focused on Wonka.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Wonka's doing pretty well, though, too. It's great.
Yeah. Go Wonka! Even though I was not physically there for that discussion, I knew it was going to do cash.
I am incorrect on that. I figured that movie was going to flop hardcore, and I was wrong.
Wait, did I say flop or cash?
Yeah, no, you said it was going to trash because of the Oompa Loompa.
I did.
I watched that's why I thought I didn't hear you say cash.
Did you ever notice that they don't use the Oompa Loompa?
I said cash more so than those two guys. I did say cash. I
think you said it has a chance.
The whimsy and the colorfulness for Christmas time. It's a nice.
You said it has
a lot of people felt
that. I did, but you know what? I'll take my L on that one. I'll take my L.
I ain't taking that L on this one.
I'll take that L. But I think it would be a lot more spoken about if they had used the Oompa Loompas from the original edition and not the re-release.
Right.
Because in the original vision, they were pygmies from quote unquote the darkest parts of Africa. So if you think about Mr. Popo, that was an Oompa Loompa. They don't use that in Wonka right now.
I haven't seen Wonka yet, but I'm seeing it this week.
Yes, you almost saw it yesterday, I think, right?
I almost saw. I was supposed to see it at the 9:35 showing. I go check the website. They took off the 9:35 showing, so
that sucks.
I'll be seeing it either Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'll be making a review video.
Please and thank you. Looking forward to it.
Because I know nobody else is seeing it.
Dude, I can't go anywhere. I got COVID. I'm stuck in the basement until Saturday.
Oh, you actually tested positive?
I tested positive 3 times this morning on 3 different tests.
Good job.
So now I have to be in the basement every single day until Saturday. So Robin,
so that means you got all kinds of free time.
Dude, that's why
I'll probably see it before Christmas. I'll just do like a candy coated day.
I am so freaking stressed out right now and so agitated because I can't go anywhere.
Or I get some hot cocoa somewhere. Like
this is like house arrest. I swear to God.
So you can't watch movies, be on your computer, play video games.
I can, but I don't. My cat's upstairs. I can't see my cat. I can't go outside. I can't see sunlight because of the way this basement is. And it's like this is my life until Saturday. So I mean, I've got enough to get me through. I got the fridge has got stuff. The shower. I'm okay with the cave down here, but I kind of like miss light and my cat.
And I just want to give apologies to Scott that your Lord of the Rings is not being represented right now. I'm sorry. Dude, I know how passionate you are.
Lord of the Rings was the first movie credit I ever got. Okay, so it has a special place in my heart.
What do you mean? You were in Lord of the Rings?
No, but I was part of the fan club, and the fan club was in the special edition for all 3 movies. So the extended 4-hour cut. If you go into there, yes, I do have my name is in the credits.
So I need to get an original Lord of the Rings poster and send it to you to sign. Got it.
Go for it. So, but
that's cool. That makes sense.
So yeah,
my name's not featured in Elf, but it has a special.
It has a special place in my heart. I grew up on The Hobbit, the Rankin Bass one, the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings, which we've talked about. You and I've talked about. Yeah. It was something that meant a lot.
You have a signed print that's going to come to your way that's personalized to Scott. That is by the original Frodo. From the cartoon.
Yes, and that was, like I said, that introduced rotoscoping. From Ralph Bakshi, who later used it in Cool World, underappreciated movie.
Which we interviewed her.
We did, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was her that played Frodo in the rotoscoping.
Yes.
So, all right. So, moving on, if we don't mind. May need you guys
to our wonderful
to the main
ranking system.
Yes. So, I realized the other day that we have never actually done like a tier ranking of anything before. I don't know why we never did. We just never did. So I got the idea of doing it with Christmas movies. Die Hard was on last night.
Quick question. No Home Alone, correct?
Oh, we got Home Alone in here.
Yeah, Home Alone.
I thought you said no.
Here's the thing. Home Alone is not. It is a Christmas movie, but it centers around burglaries that take place at Christmas. So it's not like Elf, which is a Christmas movie. It is a movie that takes place at Christmas. So, case in point, and I've included this in here, Jaws the Revenge is a Christmas movie by technicality because it takes place at Christmas. It centers around the shark, but it takes place at a certain time of year.
Oh, because of because where they were at, that's what made it. Okay.
Yeah. Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time. Home Alone is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas. There's a little more when it comes to Christmas than maybe like say, Jaws, like I said, Jaws would, or Die Hard. But it's one of those things where the primary story is he has to fend off the house from burglars.
I mean, that's the story of Violent Night.
Yeah. But Home Alone, guess where?
It's actually like, I know you haven't seen it, Scott, but basically Violent Night is an adult version of Home Alone, and it's even referenced in the movie.
I guess maybe I was thinking about it because Violent Night would be a parody of All right, I didn't include it in this, but if you want to include it, we can. I don't
okay, we include it. Yes.
Right,
because Santa Claus is in it, but that's that's not the whole premise. It's more of like I said, it's an adult version of Home Alone, and they even react scenes like that happened in Home Alone technically, but we got more of a rated R version. But yeah.
Okay, here's the question I have.
Yes.
Are we judging these movies based upon how fun they are, action movie wise, or are we judging these movies based on how much of the Christmas spirit they are exuding?
I was looking at it probably more for basically whether the movie sucks or not, as and
Yeah.
does it work as a Christmas movie or not?
Okay.
So
Fair.
So,
are
we starting 4-1 or 1-4? What's the top?
well, I mean, if you want, we'll just do it that way.
All right, we'll just start with the first one. We'll start with the first film.
Yes. So basically, Die Hard 1.
That will be an S.
An S.
It's got to be an S.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest S of all time.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Mr. Falcon, yes. It was on last night. It's clearly an S movie in this case. It's considered the pinnacle of Christmas action movies all the way through. Was originally set to be a sequel to Commando, where his daughter Jenny once again gets kidnapped, and he has to basically fend off the terrorists in Nakatomi Plaza. But Arnold was like, no thanks, I won't do it.
Is Jingle All the Way action movie? No, I'm kidding.
No, you better
I'm
not.
kidding.
Technically it is, but
I think we got enough at this point, so I'm going to skip that one. Now, Die Hard 1 we already covered. Die Hard 2 is the next one on the list.
I would put that at more of a B.
Yeah.
A B or A?
I'd give it a B.
I would say a B because it's less Christmas oriented, more winter oriented.
Okay.
But it still is Christmas oriented because they do have a Christmas party in that movie.
It is a Christmas movie, I think, technicality, but
by simply having Die Hard 2 Die Harder as the official title is.
You know what? After what y'all saying,
if they had used more of the plot linings that they had with like Die Hard with a Vengeance, and they really made something different, then I'd be more inclined to hype it up higher. But considering this is pretty much a cut
Die Hard with a Vengeance, I think,
a tall building, they went to a long building. Right. You know, that's really the big difference.
Yeah, they ramped it up. By the way, Die Hard's also in the same universe as Commando, because the general was from Valverde, which is where the country for Commando took place. By the way, fun fact.
Oh,
yes. So basically, if you go to the Streampunk Cinema channel, you will see I did 5 fun facts about Commando. That happened to be one of them. So
I knew.
So, but yeah, Die Harder rather. It's okay. It's not a great movie. It's not a
movie. My favorite is the third one with Samuel Jackson. I know that's not a Christmas movie, but that is my favorite.
That is a damn good movie, though.
Yeah,
I love what he says. It's not Jesus, it's Zeus. Like God, I'll strike a lightning bolt.
And you know what? For what it's worth, Jeremy Irons is an underappreciated villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is so good in that, and he's a soldier. He's a patriot. But
AKA Scar.
You could almost in some way feel for him a little bit in that. And I think he's underappreciated as Simon Gruber. Hans and obviously Alan Rickman will always take priority, but the tandem and the connection between Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, who, by the way, just came off Pulp Fiction the year prior. And the decision to make it in the summer to differentiate, because Die Harder got crap for being yet another movie at Christmas. It's like, really, dude, doing that again? But then right in the beginning, you got Love and Spoonful, Hot Time Summer in the City. This is different from the rest of it. But this movie, I'll be on that.
Just to add to that, I'm waiting for them to do a Die Hard moment on New Year's.
I don't think they're doing a Die Hard anytime soon, unless it's a reboot.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's with the writer's strike and everything like that, work was seldom to be Sorry.
Very true about it.
No, you go.
There is a movie with Rachel Zegler called Y2K. That takes place New Year's Eve to New Year's Day on Y2K. So it involves terrorists at a school. Terroristic robots, really. But I know, because I did 2 days on it, and I flipped off Fred Durst from Blink 182 for 2 days straight.
I love how everybody's wearing something Christmas but day.
He's got more Christmas. He got Christmas in his heart.
Yes. But
as well as cholesterol for the tacos.
He had the nerve to throw a shot at me, really?
Yes.
All right. All right.
All right.
So what's the next movie?
I'm going to call my stocking next week, but still.
By the way, I guess we probably should do this in order. So I'll get the third one. Dale will start. Oh, I'm sorry. Rob will start out the fourth one. Home Alone. I loved the movie as a kid. I hate it now.
I would say A.
Yeah.
I would go. I think popular consensus would be A. I would give it a B because at this point I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's not as funny as it was when I was a kid.
I have to give it an A because of the fact that even though it's been 30 years, the movie still's watched all the time, and Macaulay Culkin just got an Oscar, just got a star because of that movie.
Yeah,
right.
And he's turned his life, to his credit, he's turned his life around really well, and he parodies the thing a lot.
But yeah, so therefore I give it an A. It's because of the fact that it's still up in like the top 5 movies that are watched every Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, and nostalgia purposes. Like I grew up watching that film multiple times because it was, to me, like as a kid, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
All right.
Okay.
So I would give it a B. You three are giving it an A, so A wins out.
Yeah.
I didn't even say.
Oh
okay,
yeah, Ryan.
What did you say, Ryan?
He's like, I'm going to go with a B just to make it difficult.
Knowing him, he probably will.
He's going to be. It's a D rating.
I mean, the first one is a little bit more iconic.
We'll get to the other ones later. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. So I'd say A for the first one.
Okay.
All right.
I give it a B. You guys gave it an A. Roger Ebert would have given it a D, but that's it. So, all right. So, this is an interesting one in this case for Rob because this is Rambo. Rambo is actually going to be the first Christmas action movie that takes place at Christmas.
I give Rambo an A. I really like that movie.
Same A. Because he's so nostalgic.
What I really like about that movie is that they approached it a way for people to be able to understand how people were treated at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I felt like they've dressed it a really good way. And it's a movie that people still talk about. Now, correct me, is the first one that has the guy from Cobra Kai, or is that the second one that Martin Cove's in?
No. Marty Cove's in the second one.
Okay.
First Blood Part 2.
But
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Martin Cove's in it, and then I think the principal from Back to the Future is in one of the Rambos.
He could have been. Brian Dennehy was the cop that was going after him in this. And
Yeah.
also had a very, very young David Caruso as well, as the guy who kind of had like this weird, like, fanboy thing going on for Rambo.
So, like I said,
the thing. It's like it's a very well done movie, but it's probably the least Rambo-like out of the whole franchise.
I mean, is that such a bad thing? I mean, to be honest,
what you think about when you think about Rambo.
I mean, I didn't like the newer ones because of all the blood and stuff. Not trying to get us sensitized. I don't know what words we can say and not, but
okay. Blood and death and gore, I think, are okay as long as you don't use any racial slurs or like foul language.
Exactly.
Go with the South Park movie ideology on this.
But yeah, so like I said, I felt like it was more for family to be able to watch and not have to per se, like the newer ones. You do have to censor your kids from watching the last one they did of the series. But that's just my opinion.
Well, the last one of the series is probably the worst of the series because messing around with a biker gang. Like,
now, my opinion, though, I would S tier this because at that point there was never really a movie that centered around PTSD from Vietnam. You know, and the book itself. By the way, the book was way more violent. He straight up killed the cops left and right. And the reason why Dustin Hoffman said no to the role is because he wanted to stick to the original ending, whereas Sylvester Stallone was willing to basically adjust the ending so he does not end up being killed at the end of it. Because in the book and the way the original was written, there's actually a cut of it where you can see that Colonel Troutman kills Rambo so he can die a soldier.
Oh.
And that was the ending that basically never tested well. They redid it. I think that's how it worked. But the ending where he ends up in prison, which eventually leads to Rambo First Blood Part 2, was an add-on. And like I said, Dustin Hoffman was originally going to be John Rambo, but said no. Maybe I should do a video on that at some point.
You should.
I'm kind of stuck here in the house anyway.
I want to change my answer.
Okay. I think A is okay. Like I said, I would give it an S rating, but that's just me, and I'm in the minority.
What do you think, Ryan?
I mean, yeah, I could also go with B, to be honest, because it's a finely done film.
It's not violent enough.
But again, it's maybe a little bit too depressing for the holiday season, I think.
I mean, Christmas season can be a depressing time.
It is. It has the highest suicide rate.
I don't know. I think it's good at A. I don't know if I would per se put it at S.
I think A stays. Yeah, let's stay at A.
I can live with it. All right. Day, it's back to you and Lethal Weapon.
S.
Okay, on that front, Ryan, do you have an opinion on this?
B.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not even the best Lethal Weapon.
It's not. The third one, to me, the third one is followed by the second one.
I give it a B.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't give it an S.
I would go with A, but if there's two B's, two B or not to be.
Wait, it's two B's, a S, and an A, so that makes it an A.
Well, I was gonna say majority rules, but
I look at it this way. I've only seen the first Lethal Weapon once, and I haven't had the desire to watch it again. So, I mean, it could technically be lower than a B for me, but I'm going with a B to be more fair because it did start a great franchise. I know there was, 3 or 4 Lethal Weapons?
Yeah. Every time they added one new cast member, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, without the first one, obviously, you can't have the other ones. So, therefore, I give it a B.
Okay. All right. Ryan, you said a B. I would give it an A. Day, you said an S. So where do we land this in this case here? We have got to figure some stuff out here.
Okay, well, we have to like really lay down the line here. I mean, we're talking S, A, and B is like the top half, and then C, D, and F is the bottom half. I would personally put Lethal Weapon closer to the bottom half than the top half. But.
Okay. By the way, it goes S to D, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was an F.
There is not an F, actually. It just stops at D.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that is middle.
Yeah.
B is your average.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
It is, like I said, it's my third favorite of the bunch. My order 3, 2, 1, 4. So.
Gotcha.
Partly because I think Jet Li would have just straight up killed the two of them. Very easily. Yeah. That always irked me. It's like, okay, the two of them going at him, fine. You can maybe do something, but nah. Jet Li would clean their clock. But all right, moving on. Batman Returns.
Ooh.
The second of the Tim Burton ones. It is a Christmas movie.
I want to say it.
S.
Yeah.
A.
S.
A.
B.
Oh.
You son of
a. Dude, he kills people with a smile on his face. That's not Batman. He literally stares at somebody as they're about to explode.
I love the part. Batman Returns is the one with the penguin, correct?
Correct. Yeah, Danny DeVito.
Penguin and Catwoman.
I love the part where he's like, "Oh, you got a bloody nose." He said, "What bloody nose?" And then it goes, "Ah."
Yeah.
I say A.
All right.
I said S, but
no. S.
So we got two S's and A and a B, huh?
Only because, much like let me say it. Much in the same vein that Die Hard is as much a Christmas movie as it is an action movie, Batman Returns is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard is. And it's still fun, action-packed stuff.
Okay,
you literally have a woman dropping all the way down to light the Christmas tree. She falls to her death. Bats flying everywhere. You've got kids being nestled away from their beds by the penguin, a la a Krampus. You've got the consumerism of Max Shrek, pretty much just also in the wings as a villainy, as opposed to just Joker and Catwoman. Penguin and Catwoman. Sorry. There's just so much Christmas in this. It's hard not to recognize it.
A.
S.
A.
S.
I said B. Okay, Day, what do you got? You're a tiebreaker.
A.
Two A's, an S, and a B.
I did say S.
I got that right though. Two A's, an S, and a B.
No, two S's, an A and a B.
A and a B.
Oh, there's two. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Ryan was like S. All right. My bad.
Sorry, Day.
So,
That's all right.
All right. The next one, by the way, is Rob's recommendation. By the way, credit to that. Gremlins, which honestly, smart choice, by the way.
S. I would say S.
I mean, yeah.
You know, yeah. When I was what, 9 years old when Gremlins came out, and we loved Gizmo. I had a Stripe. I had a full size, like a full size one I got for Christmas. So for me, it's weird. The second one is more humorous and I think better in some ways. Yeah. But the first one was so beyond iconic and so macabre for a Christmas movie that I think back in the 80s we weren't prepared for it. Mm-hmm. The scene with the microwave, the scene with the blender, people were like, "Oh my God." So I do have to agree with you. I think we're going to ask this one.
If I was closer to my room, I would go run to my room and show you guys. But I do have a life-size, the flashing gremlin that they did, the life-size version.
But they didn't have Tony Randall in it. That was the second movie.
And John Glover was in the second one.
Was he really?
Yeah, John Glover. He was that we got to interview.
Actually, fun fact about, as I think about it, I forgot about this about Gremlins. The people that played his parents, his mother and father, both of those actually were very, very prevalent in the 1960 Little Shop of Horrors, where the mom played Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, and the father was the guy that was sitting there eating flowers, because there was a guy just sitting there just chewing on flowers, and both of them were in Little Shop and then reunited 24 years later for Gremlins.
Wow. Anybody know who the voice of Gizmo is?
Yes, I do. Does anybody else know?
Dano and Ryan?
He gave me a thumbs down.
Really?
Oh wow. Howie Mandel?
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, it's the voice of Gizmo.
Yes. He buzzed me now.
Wait, you were on American Idol?
Or America's Got Talent 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, failed epically.
Is there footage of that?
Oh yeah, you can find it. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah.
It was not exactly. It is a moment I am okay with now, but at the time was extremely challenging because I did not expect that show had the fan base it did, and a lot of people came out of the woodwork to tell me how much I sucked, and I was not ready for that.
Oh wow,
dude! I'm not just talking people in the U.S. I had people outside the country. Some people were tracking me down, getting my email address, getting my phone number, sending me texts. One guy called me. One guy from Canada. Canada, happy little fluffy Canada, was like, "You're an over the hill hack piece of shit." I'm like, "Dude, you're Canadian. What the
hell?" Was any of that scripted? Like what actually showed on camera? Was it live when?
No. It was not. I recorded it about 4 months prior. I guess I probably say this now. It aired July 7th, but I had filmed it March 4th, I think it was.
Hey, that's my birthday.
There you go. We did about 6 hours of footage, behind the scenes, talking, building up the story, the montage, and they're like, we're going to make him look like the biggest douchebag piece of shit. So, my childhood, not in there, first wife, not in there, my time in Zen, my desire to just do this for the fun of it, the opportunity, a couple of laughs, dumped it, and they're just like, we're going to make him look like an asshole. And you know what? The internet thought I was that guy. So, and you hear about this a lot from like people who've done these shows.
Yeah.
That they make you look into something they want you to be. And it's weird when you see it. I mean, listen, it was, like I said, at the time, it was pretty tough. I kind of shied away from it, but now it's been 8 years. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's
well,
more.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah.
When you do that stuff, do you get to meet them behind the scenes, or no? You see them when you see them?
Only Nick Cannon, because Nick was cool. Because he and I chatted for a while. He was a really cool guy.
Cool.
Because we were talking about Bobby's World, that day.
Yeah.
Because Howie Mandel and everything like that. I was gonna say the only one that really gave me any advice really was Howard Stern. He's like, I think if you would have been better if you did this, change this, alter that sort of thing. So that was pretty cool to get a little bit of advice on performance from Howard Stern. But other than that, it was just like, what's that?
I would love to meet the people that you saw, like Howie Mandel and Howard Stern. Those people were like the epitome of my childhood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Howard Stern. I mean, you grow up in the 80s and 90s. K-Rock was the thing before he went to Sirius.
You're right.
Howard Stark. That's Tony Stark's dad, right? No, I'm just kidding.
No, this is Howard Stern. Back in the early 1990s, you got beat up for reading comic books. I remember. So, all right. Anywho's. So then we got that. Okay, that Gremlins is done.
It's my turn.
All right, now I am going straight S tier level on this because I have to.
It's my
Jaws: The Revenge.
D.
You said D?
D.
No, he's 100% going to go with a D on this. I don't blame anyone on this, but this was the movie that literally forced Michael Caine to basically not pick up his own Oscar because he had to do reshoots on this movie. That's right to S tier level for me.
Which movie is this?
Jaws: The Revenge. Jaws 4.
Oh, I've never seen it, so I'm sorry, but I got to give it a D.
C.
Everybody will, but me, it's a guilty pleasure if there ever was one.
C.
All right, so we got a couple.
Sorry, you actually want to give this a C?
Yeah, I'll give it a C.
We have an S, C, and 2 Ds, so I mean, I guess that averages out to a C. I don't know.
No. That's on this list.
Give it a C, man. Give it a C just to buzz on ball.
No,
do not sully
majority rules is the rule in this.
And holiday appeal of this list.
All right, D.
And also keep in mind that for me personally, like I said, it's S because it's a guilty pleasure. It's a bad movie. I don't care. I mean, the shark literally roars like a lion in the movie.
Oh, okay, then a D. You're right.
Yeah.
Because sharks have vendettas because they're smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, they're about to have their anniversary next year of Jaws for the original.
Was it 1975?
74.
Was it really? Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's what when we got to interview which I need to send you that, but when we got to interview the guy from Jaws, the kid that gets eaten,
right, yeah.
He was talking or I think off camera, he was talking about how they're doing something for the 50th anniversary next year. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys heard it first from Buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
But you know, it's funny. You look at movies like Jaws and Rocky and Star Wars upcoming. It's like, how the shit has it been 50 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, if you ever want to feel old, it's like, yeah, I remember like Return of the Jedi. It's like, yeah, that was over 40 years ago.
Yeah. For my generation, and I'm saying my generation because I am younger than all three of y'all. When I tell people that it's been 20th anniversary of Elf, a lot of comments I've been getting is, man, I feel old. So for a lot of people,
you will get there, sir. You will get there.
Yeah. I was, when Elf came out, I was officially like 7.
When you hit 30, 30 is when you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it was this long ago. Right now, 25, 26, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
But once you hit 30, you really have. Once you hit 48, like this dude right here.
I will say, out of all 4 of us, I do remember getting which obviously y'all didn't get it, but I got a Wendy's Elf toy when I was a kid. When Elf came out, I remember there was Wendy's, and my mom would not let me watch Elf. And I said, Mom, there's Wendy's toys. How is this a bad movie? Because she got it mixed up with the movie Bad Santa. And I think that the reason why was because Will Ferrell did have a bad... he had a rep to his name of not family-friendly stuff.
Well, yeah, Night at the Roxbury. I don't remember.
Well,
he didn't have Old School yet. Old School was a year later.
Old School came out right before Elf, and they thought that was going to backfire them because
that was 2003.
Yeah, it came out right before, and he was known for Saturday Night Live, and he was known for that's why a lot of studios rejected him.
Huh.
Ryan, why are you punching yourself?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this now, Rob. After this episode, no mention of Elf for 2 months.
Actually, hold up, sir. We have trivia that'll be coming up, and then I won't be able to talk about Elf because next week we're not doing a thing because it's Christmas.
Well, we're gonna pre-record for Christmas
after next week.
Yeah, after next week, yes. Now I can't promise there won't be any mention of Elf.
He's trying to push the Elf stuff as much as he can while he has the window.
Yeah, while I'm in it, because after this episode and after the pre-recorded episode, you won't see me in this outfit anymore. So, besides for when we talk about conventions, if we get press for future conventions. But anyways, next to the next movie.
Okay, so now we're going to go into some sequels. Starting out with Home Alone 2.
B, and no, I'm conflicted because I'm stuck between S, A, and B.
Okay.
Hey, technically that should have been mine because Scott stole mine. I'm just kidding.
I have to put it at B.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing as like Die Hard with Die Hard 2. It's a rehash.
Can I defend Home Alone 2 in a sense?
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. Which, fun fact, did you know this scene is taken out on the cable?
They cut the Donald Trump scene, which I find hilarious as hell.
So I will say this. Cable, you will not see that scene.
Right, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to defend Home Alone 2 and why I think it should be a S.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The reason why I say this should be a S, even though it was a sequel, the whole concept was New York and on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it doesn't hold up to the first.
Let him finish.
Imagine yourself going, because guess what? On the holidays on Christmas, a lot of people, if you really think about it, goes to New York on Christmas Day because of tree lighting. And that's when a lot of people enjoys going to New York because of Christmas. Because of the tree lighting, they shop, everything. And then not only that, it threw some elements to it where you enjoyed it and you basically want to go to New York. You basically want that New York pizza. So in that defense, I will have to say I would give this a S.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm sticking with the B.
We landed A on the first one, but possibility of an S on the second one?
Yeah.
No, because here's the thing. For as much as I would probably put it at C because it's so much of a rehash of the first one.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it B simply because it does have that New York ties, and 3 out of 4 of us are within the vicinity. So I mean that does hold up as like wish fulfillment. Like
and the original cast too. So
we have the ability to, but we'd never have it the way that Kevin McAllister did. But in that defense, it's also a hell of a lot more stupid than the first movie. The first movie felt very fresh, original, and plausible. The second one, it shows New Yorkers as some dumbass mofos. I swear to God, everyone in that hotel is a damn idiot. The smartest person in the whole movie is the goddamn pigeon lady. All right, I mean,
well, there's also
So what do you say, Scott?
You know what? I'll give it a B. I could drop it a little bit lower, but you know what? You got Tim Curry. Tim Curry was fantastic in this movie. You know he was. Tim Curry. Well, Tim Curry is awesome in anything he does.
Yeah.
But the idea, he was so good, as the hotel concierge in Home Alone 2, that I'm like, you know what? I can stretch this out to be a B. I'm okay with that.
Right. But for every Tim Curry in the movie, there was also Rob Schneider and Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. Right. Rob Schneider is a stapler.
So I would say a B.
All right, we'll give it a B.
I can live with a B on this. Okay. Now we're going to start dropping a little bit lower, because now we're moving on to Home Alone 4.
Oh, that's D.
Home Alone 3, by the way, did not actually take place at Christmas. It was the first one to not have any of the original cast or characters. This one, however, had the original characters. Kevin and Marv were in this. Fred Stewart and Missy Pyle were the two trying to break in.
Wait, was this the new one they did like a couple years ago?
No,
haven't gotten to that yet. We're getting there.
One right before.
When did this one come out?
This was like 2007, 8.
So this was not the. So the third one was when they had no original cast.
Oh, this was 2002. Holy crap!
Yeah,
this is when they were trying to do. Hey, let's put everything straight to video bandwagon.
Yeah, Home Alone 3 wasn't a Christmas movie.
No, it was not.
Oh, and I hated the movie because they didn't have any cast members. I thought it was a waste of time. But
also, curiously enough, that the director of that ended up directing Smurfs after that too.
Right.
Oh, so a D. I've never even heard of a fourth one.
I saw one D because it went straight to DVD.
I can give it a C. I can live with a C only because it's the original characters, sort of.
What do you say?
The parents are divorced by the way now.
Put it in C because we need a C.
I would say, the newer Home Alone was better than.
Oh hell no!
Yes, it was.
No way.
Yes.
No, the newest one. That child was insufferable.
He was British.
With the parrot.
They brought back one of the original cast members.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Well, yeah. Buzz was the cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cop.
Glorified cameo, day player, residuals, that sort of thing.
So I would say this Home Alone, a D.
Yeah.
So I give it a C.
I'm saying C.
So we have 2 Ds, 2 Cs.
C it is. Okay.
You know what?
Home Alone 5.
In charge of the whole thing as Vito.
Home Alone 5. The one this time with a girl, and for some reason I can't figure out, Malcolm McDowell and Ed Asner.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't miss much.
I liked it.
It was seeing Ed Asner and Malcolm McDowell in Home Alone 5 was as inexplicable as seeing Abe Vigoda in Good Burger. It made no sense whatsoever to have someone with that kind of a resume in a movie like that.
I mean, I would say C as well, if only for the fact that compared to Jaws the Revenge, it's still very Christmas oriented.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of those movies you put on just to keep the kids quiet in the other room while all the parents are having their eggnog.
So you'd give it a C. I would go D.
I give it a C.
Day?
I never seen it.
All right, so 2 C's and a D then, in that case.
So C.
And A for me.
You will see.
And then the one more in this case to round this out for Home Alone. Home Alone 6. The one where you actually sympathize with the actual people breaking in because they need the stuff in there to be able to basically keep their own house.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I do remember that one.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Wait. 5. Wait, what? Okay, sorry. I give 5 a D. I thought this was the last one.
No.
I give 5 a D. I haven't even.
No, this was the one that they put out on Disney Plus.
Yes, that one. Okay, sorry. The Disney Plus Home Alone, I liked.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one with Ellie Kemper, Rob Delaney, Archie Yates, Keenan Thompson, Chris Parnell.
That's the one I meant that made a cameo. That one made a cameo. Sorry.
This is the last one from 2006.
But the kid was such a jerk.
Wait, this came out in the Disney Plus one came out in
2021. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I give this one a C for sure. If not a little, I don't know. What do you guys say?
D.
I liked it. The Disney Plus one was good. I give it a C.
like I said, I felt bad for the couple trying to break in because, like I said, they're trying to. You sympathize with them. You can't sympathize with Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
You know, but these two, they're trying to save their house.
I did see
trying to get someone in the house that they can sell. And it's like,
which is different than the original Home Alone. You don't really sympathize.
I'm gonna pause y'all right there.
Okay.
Y'all two said D, right?
I did D.
And Rob, you're saying C?
Yes.
I may go against y'all two, and y'all my boys. I may have to jump on Rob on this one because it was a good film.
No, it was not.
No, it was. If we really think about one of the aspects of you're rooting for the villain more than the kid, because the kid was such an a-hole.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
the only reason you're rooting more for the people breaking into the house of a child who is home alone is because the child is so insufferable. But you know what? The two adults are so inept. They're basically fouling themselves up before the kid even does anything to protect the house. They are that dumb. They are that.
And then at the end, they found out that
and over what? A doll?
That was worth money, yeah.
No. I give it a C.
All right, so now we have a problem that we haven't addressed yet. We have two from different categories here. So we got 2 C's and 2 D's.
Well, we were just about to put the other Home Alone until I gave it a D.
This is the last Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I meant the 5th one I gave a D, so then we put it in D, but we had the same thing again for both Home Alone.
So you want to basically make this a C as a result?
That's what we did with the C because you had 2 C's,
you know
2
what?
D's.
I mean,
guys, the one before this, the one with the girl and Ed Asner.
Yeah,
that was a straight-to-video release. That you all expect to be bad simply based on the quality of the film itself.
Didn't the 4th one also go straight to DVD too?
Yes.
Yes.
The 3rd one was the theater stuff.
And we gave the 4th one a C.
This one with the little chubby kid from the Hitler movie.
That's right.
This was made via Fox and Disney. This was put specifically on the streaming platform. They made a big deal about this.
Yeah, that's why I watched
and it. Was that bad?
No, it was great.
This is gonna be a shocker because this will break the tie.
Okay.
Because the family was more you was rooting more for the family than the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with D because it
didn't. Oh.
Because no, Rob, listen to me.
It was a good movie.
Yes and no.
And the fact
it was definitely a movie.
The fact that they brought back the brother as a cop as a cameo made me love the movie and made it worth watching.
But hear me out, Rob.
No,
hear me out. Listen.
No. We'll go to Violent Night.
He's like, I don't want to hear. I don't want to listen.
No, it's okay. You guys can. You're gonna have trashy opinions. It's okay.
You're gonna listen. You're gonna listen to my opinion. I'm going to say this: out of all the Home Alones, you were rooting for the kid.
That's what made that one good. The fact that you're not rooting for the kid for the first time.
It has to
it makes the kid unsympathetic.
Correct.
It's kind of like, hold on. It's kind of like the Cobra Kai series. Everybody in the first Karate Kid movies were rooting for Daniel LaRusso. Then you had the Cobra Kai series, and you're not rooting for Daniel LaRusso. You're rooting for Johnny Lawrence because they show a different side.
The only difference is that in Cobra Kai, you saw people on both sides with Johnny and Daniel.
Yeah.
With their own baggage, and you saw a side of humanity in both cases.
And this one, to go back to this last one, you have a spoiled brat kid, that, like I said, you're not rooting for him because he's an a-hole and he doesn't deserve what he's got.
Why no one likes Velma as the character, Mindy Kaling's Velma.
Wait, Velma from Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, but basically the HBO Max one. Because she's unsympathetic and she's an asshole.
We don't talk about that for a lot of reasons.
But my point is, in this case here, if she's an unsympathetic asshole and we don't like her, and this kid is an unsympathetic asshole and we don't like him, what's the difference?
What? We don't like him.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's the whole difference of the development.
No.
Even talk about development.
Rob, at the end of the day, there are 3 Ds and a C. So the majority rules.
Dave was originally going to say C, and he changed his
mind. He's allowed to change his mind.
I could change my mind because
you know what? Violent Night, I give an A.
Well, yeah, but Rob's pissed now too. Okay, so basically, I forgot to put Elf. Elf's got to go in the D level.
Elf's not an action movie.
Sorry,
but okay, so
Elf's about to be an action movie.
Violent Night, I never saw, so I'm out of this equation.
Okay, so since you want to make it an A, you want to make that an A, Bob?
Yeah,
I say an S.
Okay, I'll give it an S.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm inclined with A.
I give it. I can see why Day wants to say S, and I can give it an S because we finally. What I did like about that. Speaking of Christmas spirit, we see something different. They go a different path with Santa. It's not just your ho 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 Santa Claus. It's you get to see the
not an action movie, by the way.
What's the Norse gods? Am I saying right? Day.
Yeah.
The Norse gods, and you see a different origin story of Mr. Claus. And what this movie, and like I said, it is a Home Alone, but it's the rated R version because they're not afraid to cuss. They're not afraid to, if a bowling ball hits you, there's actual blood.
If a hot iron lands on your face.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
your skin.
Yeah. So and that actually does, Scott. That does happen. And one of the funniest moments I like in that movie is when he's pulling out his bag. He's got a DVD of Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, because he's throwing stuff out of its bag. But anyways, yes, that movie does represent Christmas really good. I did go as Buddy the Elf to see that movie. And I enjoyed that movie, and it was a good time.
That was the Elf sequel where Will Ferrell starts to get angry.
And then the fun fact: the lady from National Platoon Christmas
Lampoon.
However you say it, I've never watched the movie. Sorry. Yeah.
Beverly D'Angelo.
She plays the mom. In Violent Night was in National. So.
You're talking Beverly D'Angelo?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because she was in all 5 of those movies.
I only know that because I got to meet her this year, and she had a print from Violent Night, and then that's where I put the 2 together that they were in the same movie.
You saw her boobies in the first one.
Yeah.
Yes. And Anthony Michael Hall.
The second one.
And Anthony Michael Hall, who was, I believe, 14 or 15 at the time,
he was nice.
Sneak into the closed set because, Beverly D'Angelo is, hot mom naked and he's 14 or 15 years old. And apparently that caused a lot of problems, not just because of the fact that he actually played her son in the movie.
Oh, wow.
That was before he was Johnny B. Good.
Yeah.
And Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm saying Johnny B. Good.
But
yeah,
I doubt there was anything good about all that.
But to reference what my cousin stated, because she the one that got me into that whole movie because she saw it last year at New York Comic Con because they showed the whole film.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And to reference her, thank you, cousin Gwen. I'm giving you a shout out. I will say this. This is what she referenced to me. She said it will be awesome if they basically do a prequel to Violent Night to find out the origin story of Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
So they could get the Viking story and how he became Santa.
They do that.
No. Meaning like
they touch on it, but they don't actually show him becoming Santa.
Exactly.
They show him
No, they just touch on it.
They show him from like slightly imaged in his old Viking ways, but they don't show how he becomes
Santa Claus.
Oh, I thought he explains that.
No, and if anything, we'll get to see who Mrs. Claus is too.
Yeah.
It sounds like there ain't a Mrs. Or no, he did say I gotta get home.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It would be funny if it
So Ryan, what do you rate it at? Because we got 2 S's.
I mean, I would put it at an A only because it is a fine film, but it's also a pretty predictable film. You know, it's like,
I mean,
from the trailer, you kind of already see where the movie's going with a lot of it. I think a lot of the stuff is spoiled.
But if you didn't watch the trailer, if you just watch the
trailer, then how would I even know about the movie?
You don't really. It's called by friends and talking to each other. You don't. There's a lot of movies that like Wonka. Talking? I didn't watch the trailer for Wonka, but I'm gonna go see it.
I mean,
because nowadays they like to spoil everything off the trailer, like the whole thing with Shazam 2 when they showed Wonder Woman in the freaking teaser trailer.
Well, you know, it's funny. If you ever watch trailers now, the trailer has a trailer built into it to watch the trailer. So they have that first like 5 or 10 seconds to get you hooked to watch the entire 2-minute trailer.
Yes.
You know, it's a bizarre setup, but it's very indicative of today's society here.
Right.
I stick away from trailers nowadays because they do give too much away. That some do. Some give the entire movie within their 2-minute trailer.
You know, I'll give it credit. I watched it. I don't know if you guys did, but I watched the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actual F, but I'm going to call it 4 because that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know, I'm intrigued. I don't think it's going to be as good as maybe the first 2, but I think it'll be better than 3.
Oh, of course.
It brought back the, both Judd Hirsch. I'm sorry, not Judd Hirsch. Judge Reinhold and the other guy too, whatever his name was, who's absent from the 3rd movie. So he came out of retirement to do this movie. So you can tell that the trio being together again is going to add a little bit of a fun chemistry to it. And I don't know. I'm really curious. You know, it's Axel Foley was part of our childhood. That theme is iconic. You know, especially for an '80s kid. My God, that theme song is awesome. You know, and the first couple were really kind of enjoyable. So I'm intrigued when it comes to Netflix next year. You know, take a look.
There was one time that the trailers trolled Marvel fans that something happened in the trailer. And never happened.
It's called She-Hulk trolling its fans in the trailer.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about the She-Hulk. I was talking about the I can't remember which Avengers movie, but I think it what?
It was Infinity War.
You're talking about Infinity War when they had like everybody, like the Hulk and everyone running towards the screen.
No, I'm talking about the Hulk supposed to bust out of the Hulkbuster suit. That happened in the trailer. They even made it into a Funko Pop, and it never happened in the movie. It's when Bruce Banner
they also never had a Hulk in Wakanda, period.
What?
Hulk was never in Wakanda. Banner was always in the Hulkbuster.
Talking about the part where Bruce Banner has to wear the
nice.
Oh, when Bruce Banner has to wear the Hulkbuster suit because he can't turn into the Hulk.
Right.
That trailer has him busting out of the suit because he was able to finally transform.
No, it doesn't. The trailer has him as the Hulk.
Yes, busting out of the suit
with everybody else.
I will send you the trailer. Because I know because I watched the trailer and then they made the Funko Pop because they thought that was actually going to happen because it was in the trailer.
And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay, you send me what you talking about.
Meanwhile, Dave is just going to basically, he's got it back to the camera. He's like, fuck all.
If we were in my man cave, I'd show you the Funko.
He's worried about his Funkos.
Yeah.
Which I got my new one, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
So, anywho.
Yeah.
We got anything else to talk about before we wrap up this week?
Nah, I think I'm good. My voice is pretty much done.
Yeah, because we talked about
Lord of the Rings. We talked about Jonathan Majors.
Yep.
Talk about Andrew Barton because
there was one quick thing I wanted to mention. I was going to ask Ryan and Day if they've seen it because they're more of the anime nerds. Have you guys?
Excuse you, connoisseur.
Excuse me. Okay.
Have you guys seen the new? I don't know what service it was on, but they made
Yu Yu Hakusho?
the live action anime.
I haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho yet.
Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm watching it still. It's decent. It's really
okay.
It just has.
I think there's 2 episodes out right now. I was told.
No, it's more.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. I was busy with anime all weekend. I was taking.
You kind of had your fill of that.
Did we mention that? How did you enjoy that?
Like so far, so good. It has its little quirks where they made some changes to the film from the anime. I
suspect it's not being as well received as One Piece live action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan, how was your con?
Con was good. Got to see everybody I needed to see. Got to videotape everything I needed to videotape. There was a good discussion about Yu Yu Hakusho actually in the weekend simply because of the live action. And the thing people have to understand is if you're doing a live action of an anime, things will have to be changed.
Yeah.
There are just some things you cannot do on film that you can do in animation. We've already seen that with Disney when they've tried to do live action remakes, and ultimately it's not like they're using real animals. No, it's all CGI. You know, they take creative bias towards what they can do and what they cannot. So I at least saw some of the fighting, at least one of the fights from one of the episodes. The fighting looks crisp. You know, for what you're going to get in this sort of thing. I don't know how often they're going to be doing like spirit gun sort of stuff, but
finger bang.
To, like what you're getting in the anime version. The anime version was more about like the power ups and how often they were getting used. It wasn't like Dragon Ball Z where it was a lot of punching and kicking. Yeah. This seems like it's going to be more punching and kicking because that's more can be done on a budget and more realistically.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go ahead and be more stunt oriented, I'm perfectly fine with that. The important thing is staying true to the story. Now, we're talking about like one of the big shonen originators.
Yes.
You know, before DBZ kicked off, there was Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's true.
Hopefully, Kurabara is just as much of a meathead as I was. That's why I like Kurabara.
You're a meshy. Yeah, but to give it a clarity on IMDb, One Piece anime in live action, 8.9 out of 10, 8.4 out of 10. So right there. Yu Yu Hakusho, 8.5 for anime and 7.5 for live action. Okay. So a little lower, but not brutal.
Yeah, it's not terrible. And last thing, because I know Scott and Ryan watch it, was the 3rd episode any better of the whole special of the Doctor Who stuff?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I don't know. We just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Scott.
I know.
Well, good thing is Scott's got time this week to watch it.
Well, I still have to finish the Archer series, which actually that hasn't finished up.
Oh yeah, the finale was last night.
Yeah, I saw about a quarter of it at this point.
I'm watching that as soon as I get off here.
I was gonna say, don't spoil it. I have a suspicion on how it's gonna end, but I'll see if I'm right when I finish it. But also keep in mind, I just put a new Fire Stick down here, so I still have to set up like all of the everything. Yeah. You know, good thing I'm gonna be down here until freaking Saturday. My God. Dude, this is the second time this year I've gotten COVID. It's not as bad as the first time around. First time I had hypothermia. This time it's just more of an annoyance. But I'm still sequestered in my own basement for 5 freaking days here.
I only had COVID once in my life, and that was after a convention.
This is the second time this year I got COVID. And the first time I lost Joker too. I was supposed to do 2 days on Joker and another day on Evil Lives Here. I lost out on like $1,300 or $1,400. You know, this time it's like, well, shit, I guess. All right, what do you guys need?
Jesus Christ.
Well, I will make sure I send you some footage. That way we can get it posted.
That's fine. Like I said, I pretty much have a lot more time on my hands because I can't go anywhere.
All right. So. Well, okay. So, anybody else got anything before I close this out?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. I'm Buddy the Elf. That's Day. That's Ryan. And that's Scott. And this is Tales from the Film Set. Woo!
Those fingers had no idea.